How's it going, welcome back to the Great Green North. Welcome to the fall renovation guide. In this video, I'm going to be explaining to you guys my full fall renovation process. Now, last video we went through it all. I talked you through it. Today we're going to be showing you how to do everything. So we're going to start with your prep work. We're going to showing you that. Next thing we're going to be doing, we're going to be talking about how to use a core mechanical aerator. Then we're going to be showing you the aerating process. Then finally, we're going to be showing you results about 5-6 days later, how everything looks. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So last week, as I talked about, there's two methods. If your lawn is less than 30% grass, you're going to go ahead and do a fall renovation, aeration, and overseed. Now, I did get a couple questions about people who didn't feel comfortable glyphosating their lawn or didn't want to glyphosate your lawn. I really understand this. There's a lot of things going around about glyphosate right now and how safe it is. Personally, I do believe it is a quite safe product. History has said it is one of the safest weed controls out there. However, there are some people who believe different. So without further ado, for those of you who do not want to glyphosate your lawn, don't till your lawn up. What you can do is just do this fall renovation process. You might have to do it a couple years over to fully get those weeds out, but doing this process will definitely help strengthen your lawn for next year. This side yard here, as you can see, is definitely, this spot is less than 30% grass. It's almost empty, but we're pretty much doing a full seed start in this middle area here, starting it from scratch. And it works, the fall renovation aeration overseed works perfectly fine. So that's answering one of the biggest questions I got on the last video. Wanted to answer that before we started this video. Second, there is a worldwide shortage of grass seed right now, especially premium sod quality grass seed. Now, I got a lot of questions last week about where can I find seed, because I believe the Pavely Mart seed that I linked to and that I used for years is out of stock. And from I think with most of Canada and most of Ontario, I can't seem to find it anywhere. Where I went to Peel Landscaping, which was my local landscape depot. For those of you who live in the GTA, they're around here. They're in the Peel area and the Halton area. But for those of you who cannot find that, go to your local landscape depot. So there's normally a landscape depot around that sells interlock or different landscaping products for landscape professionals. Go there. They normally have good blends of grass seed. You want to look for something that has high contains of Kentucky bluegrass, tall fescue. That's the mix I like to use. But you want to try to find a quality, high quality mix. Definitely something that's labeled zero weed seeds. That's definitely something that's important to me. And also, normally if it's labeled elite or sod quality seed, that normally means it comes from a sod farm and it is the highest quality of seed. Now, also for those of you in Ontario, Green Horizon Sod, they own all of the sod farms in southern Ontario. Great people over there. Definitely, if you're watching this video, Green Horizons, call me up. But you guys, they sell different seed mixes. You can go to their website, greenhorizons.com. Not a sponsor, not affiliated, but you can go to their website. You can check out the products they have there. Green Horizons Sod. They're all across Ontario, and they could help you guys get seed for those of you who are struggling to find grass seed. Now, so without further ado, let's start talking about the lawn care. So number one, we're going to talk about prep work. So the first thing you're going to do before you do your fall renovation, you're going to have a quick mow. Now, in my case, as I talked about in the video, we got about 4 inches of rain in about an hour, massive thunderstorm, flash flooding the previous night. So mowing was not an option for me. However, for those of you who do have that option, go ahead and do it. There's no need to cut it any shorter than you normally cut it. Just cut it at the normal height you cut it. Go ahead, give it a mow, because you're not going to be able, because it's better that you can stay off of it for longer instead of having to mow almost instantly as soon as you put everything down. Secondly, for those of you who have in-ground irrigation, as you can see in the aeration video, get some flags. You can buy them cheap from the dollar store. Go flag out all your heads to make sure you're not going to hit anything, have any accidents. Yes, you probably do know where most of your in-ground heads are. However, with the flags, it just makes it way easier to make sure there's not going to be any accidents. No one's going to accidentally take out an irrigation line. Finally, for preparation, go out, rent that aerator, put it lift it in the back of your truck. Make sure to take those weights out. I'm going to show you that, how to do it later in this video, and all that stuff. So without further ado, it's time to go get the aerator, get it in the back of your truck, and get it to your property. Once you get it there, I'm going to show you guys how to use an aerator, how to properly execute a turn, and all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's get into those clips right now. This is a Clausen core mechanical aerator, and the reason why it's a core aerator is if you come back here, you can see underneath we have these spikes which are sharpened to a point, and when those spikes spin into the ground, they poke cores like that look like this in the soil, and these cores allow water and oxygen to get down into the soil. So this is a Clausen. Most of them are the same, similar controls. So how you're going to operate it, obviously same Honda engine. You have your choke, your on, and there's an on switch, on off gas switch in the front here. Then you'll pull to start, throttle here. Always put the throttle wide open on an aerator. They tend to use a lot of, they need a lot of RPM to run. So what you're going to do, this bottom lever here on most aerators is how to engage the tines. So the way that this works is these back wheels don't really do much, but at the moment they hold the tines up. When you drop this down, as you can see, those tines go into the ground, poking those cores. This front lever here on most aerators is the drive lever. So this is going to drive, spin the tines, as well as spin this front tire. So this is what you do when you drive. Now when you get to the end of a corner, say I'm driving, you're going to lift the tines up. You're going to engage the drive belt and use that to spin the aerator around, either way, this way or this way. The drive belt's just going to help push the wheels a little bit, get it moving. It's a very heavy machine, so it can be difficult to move sometimes. And then once you're done with that, drop the drive belt down, drop the tines down, engage the drive. When you engage the drive, you have to be careful, because when you engage the drive, it will kick quite a bit when those tines dig into the ground. Finally, on the front of the aerator, there's two weights. These weights are here basically to hold the front of the machine down, because there's a lot of force as those tines dig into the ground and rip out the cores. So these weights on most aerators are removable. You can take them out here, back in. Those are really good to remove if you're lifting it in the back of a pickup truck, because it takes about half the weight of the machine out. So if you're putting it in the back of the pickup truck, take out both the weights first and then lift the machine back up. Another tip, if you're putting it in the back of your pickup, once you get it in, drop the tines down. The tines will keep it from flying around in the back of your truck. Okay, so as we talked about before, executing a turn is probably one of the most difficult things you perform about in the aerator. Now I kind of showed you in that video clip how to execute a turn, but I want to look at a couple clips of me actually running the aerator. We're going to slow it down. We're going to show you how to execute that turn. So the two main belts are the drive belt and the tines lift up down. So I've come to my end of my run. I'm going to lift the tines. I'm going to press the drive belt, which is going to spin those tines. It's going to help me spin the aerator around. Drop the drive belt, drive away on my next pass. Let's slow that down a little bit. So here we go. We're going to lift the tines, engage the drive belt, spin the machine around as those tines are spinning. They'll help you spin the machine in a circle. Once you get to the end of the next pass, disengage the drive belt, drop the tines, and engage the drive belt again, and you're on your way. That is how to properly do a turn on an aerator. So everything you need to know about an aerator is right there. Make sure to lift those weights out before you lift it into the back of the truck. Makes a big difference. So now that you have your aerator and you're ready to go start aerating your lawn, there's gonna be a couple things you're gonna keep in mind. Number one, you want to have your ground damp. So in order to pull plugs, the aerator pokes holes in the ground and pulls cores. Now, the wetter your ground, the better it sticks together, the better cores you will pull. On the day that we did it, as I said, we got about 4 inches of rain the night before in an hour, so everything was soaked. We were pulling easily 4 to 5 inch plugs out of the ground, and that's really good. You want to be pulling as deep plugs as possible, because the deeper the plugs, the farther the air and the water gets to penetrate the soil, the healthier it makes your lawn. So you want to, because you brought the aerator all the way out, so make sure the previous night, if you are not ready, if it's been dry in your area, just to water your lawn, just to get that soil damp, so that when you pull plugs, you're going to be pulling deeper, better plugs. Secondly, before you get that, you're going to be going both directions. So you're going to be going up and down and side to side, and if your lawn's really bad, you're going to go diagonally as well. You're going to poke as many cores as possible. You've rented the machine, you've made the big deal of bringing it all the way out to your house. It's time to pull as many cores as possible. Get the lawn aerated to the best of your ability. So without further ado, check out some clips of us aerating the lawn right here. Okay guys, so I think it's time. We've pulled enough cores over here. Let's go take a look at the holes we're poking and the cores we're getting. So I'm right in the middle here, guys. As you can see, the cores we're poking are about 6 inches apart. Now this is a little bit bigger spacing than I would like, but what you can do is take your finger, put in one hole, kind of move around, see what the next hole you can get. That's so you can tell how far your cores are apart. The cores are pulling really nice 3 to 4 inch cores, as you can see through here. There's a 3 incher, mostly 3 inchers. We've been in a heat wave for the last couple weeks, so that's what's going on. That's a 4 incher right there. So I'd like to see more cores going in through here, so that's why once you're finished going this way, we're going to come back, go this way, pull double the cores, so we can really get everything opened up here, get our seed growing in there, and get this grass growing again. Now if you guys remember last year, we had a really crappy aerator. So this year we scouted. This one's rented from our local Home Depot. We haven't purchased one yet. We've been looking around for maybe purchasing one, but they're quite expensive. So if you know somebody who has a truck, or you're willing to rent a truck, go to Home Depot, rent an aerator, bring it home, or call your local lawn company. They could come do it for you, and then you don't have to do any of the hard work. That's probably the best solution for some of you who's busy, done this before, doesn't want to do the hard work or anything else like that. Pulling the tines up and down is really physically demanding, as well as moving that machine around. It does not move very easily, as well as when those cores dig in the ground, the machine goes and actually pretty much pulls you forward. So you have to be in some sort of physical demanding shape. If you're injured, if you're having trouble walking or other things like that, I would definitely recommend calling a lawn company or calling in a professional to help do this for you. This is quite demanding, and I definitely think you'd want to be in some sort of physical demanding shape, not injured or anything, to be operating a machine like that. So up here where we've gone both ways, as you can see in the thinner areas, it's a bit of a mess, but as you can see, when I put my fingers in the holes here, these holes are about 3 inches apart at the minimum. Lots of cores and everything here on top. This is definitely going to make a perfect seeding bed. Lots of soil, lots of places for that seed to go down in the ground. Really healthy seeding bed, really nice seeding bed. And this is what you want to see. So when you look at your lawn, you want to see this kind of look. Lots of soil on top, lots of stuff down in. For a guy who has a perfect lawn, it doesn't look great for the lawn, but it is really good for the lawn. It actually helps strengthen and make the lawn more healthy, pretty much more than you would imagine. The cores help get the air down in the soil, getting the soil oxygenated again. It also helps getting water and other things penetrating deep into the soil, strengthening the roots of your lawn, getting them to go deeper, as well as the fertilizer you're putting on. Going to help kickstart your lawn, and the seed that you're putting on is going to help fill in any dry spots or dead spots you have from the previous season. As you can see, lots of cores pulled in here. This is a great seed bed. And you know why? There's lots of soil in here for your seed to lie into, lots of holes for the seed to sink into, water to drive into, and for you to get a nice, healthy lawn come next year. This is what you want to see when you aerate your lawn for a fall renovation. This is what we're looking for, because this is going to mean that your seed is going to succeed, your renovation is going to succeed, and you're going to have a nice green lawn within a couple months. This is what you want your lawn to look for. All kind of torn up, lots of soil, lots of plugs. This is what we want to see. This is good. As I said again, you want to be seeing decent sized plugs. If you're seeing plugs like this, that's a good sign. If you're walking around and you're only picking up plugs about this big, that's not a great plug, folks. We don't want to see plugs like that. We want to see bigger plugs. This core will only get you pretty much just into the surface. These cores, the bigger ones, the 4 inches, the 3 inches, like these ones, are going to drive water deeper into the soil. So without further ado, now that you've finished core aerating, it's time to get on to your seed and your fertilizer. Now, I was planning to put down a 16-16-16 fertilizer, all-purpose fertilizer, because all of those nutrients, your nitrous, your phosphorus, and your potassium, would be necessary. Your nitrogen would help kickstart the lawn from its slowing in the fall. If you're following my program, your lawn has not been fed since May 2-4 weekend or Memorial Day weekend, so it's time to get some energy back in that lawn. Then next, the phosphorus would promote the root growth on the new seed, as well as promoting root growth on your old seed, and then the potassium would help fix any damage that's long lasting over the winter from disease and insects and heat and stress and everything else. And this would all over help just strengthen your lawn. Now, I was unable to find that, as everything with this year and COVID, supply chains, everything's messed up. So I was unable to find that. So what I was able to find was the 3008 that I like to use, and I've used that previous years with my fall renovation in the past, and that's what worked for us. So for those of you wondering, they'll both be linked down in the description. Any purpose fertilizer you can find, put it down at 3 pounds per thousand. That means you're getting almost a full pound of nitrogen in, and that's going to help strengthen and grow your lawn. Next, with the seed, if you're doing an overseeding mix like I am doing, I put my overseeding down at about somewhere in between 3 and 5 pounds per thousand is what you need to put your overseeding down. If you have thin areas like this, take out the bag and cast the seed over the ground, and then when you're done, take the back of a rake and rake it into the ground. This will help keep that seed away. Now, for those of you who put down your seed and are expecting rainfall sometime in that day, make sure that you still water in the seed before you're expecting rainfall, especially if it's torrential rainfall, is because that water will help everything stick to the soil. So then, in our case, we had a massive thunderstorm just after we seeded, but I had watered, so all the seed was sticking to the soil before the thunderstorm came in. So when the thunderstorm did come in, it didn't wash all my seed away. And I do have hills around here, so it kept the seed from washing away, and that's the most important thing. So put down your fertilizer, put down your seeds, 2 separate applications. You never want to mix products in the fertilizer spreader, 2 separate applications on your lawn. And now it's to the most important step: water, water, water. You're going to water the shit out of this. Folks, I'm going to repeat this again. You are going to water the shit out of your lawn. What you need to do is you need to make sure that your ground is always staying damp. The germination period for most seeds is somewhere in between 7 days and a week, if set in proper conditions. Now, things are cooling down here. We're somewhere in between 8 and 20 degrees Celsius. Those are the best conditions for growing grass seed. So you want to make sure that you're keeping the ground damp. This is the second most important thing for growing grass seed. The damper the ground, the better. So what you're going to do, you're going to make sure that you're watering every day for about 10 to 20 minutes in each spot, keeping your entire lawn damp. Now, if you can water every day for an hour in each spot, that will also help. The more damp your grass is, the more able you'll be able to recover from the winter stress. If you have any stressed out areas, things should start greening up now. You should start seeing things get better. And as you're watering, your seeds should come in. The fescue and the rye should come out somewhere between 4 to 6 days. The Kentucky bluegrass will take anywhere between 12 and 14 days. And then your grass should stay up. Now, for mowing, what you're going to do, just continue with your regular mowing practices. If you have entirely thin areas like this, just stay away from those. Stay away from any areas that you're really trying to recover, that were really stressed. But other than that, continue mowing. Just get on and get off. Don't use your striper. Don't be trying to do anything crazy. Just get on the lawn, get off the lawn, get the mow done. That's the most important thing about mowing after you're aerating. We mowed all the time when I worked for a lawn care company. We would mow all the time after doing projects like this, and we would still get the same results. So don't be afraid about mowing. Just get on, get off. Don't be having any big parties or trying not to trample any areas, especially if they're areas like this, which are starting completely from the beginning. So without further ado, let me show you guys some of the results in about 4 to 5 days after the initial seeding. So as you can see here, this area was pretty much a bare spot. As you can see, all those little seedlings beginning to pop up. That is probably the rye and the fescue in there. They tend to pop up pretty quick. And it's a good thing that they're all coming up in the cores, because that means that the cores worked. The seed worked its way down into the core, and then was able to nutrients itself and grow from there. Also, the fertilizer has also helped green up the lawn and repair a lot of the damage. It's hard to see here because of the way the sun's shining on the lawn, but a lot of the damage back here has been repaired and fixed. And over here, things are looking a lot healthier, greener, and those cores should break down, and mine are starting to break down somewhere between a week to 2 weeks. As you can see, when you're watering as much, the cores begin to break down. They begin to kind of fall apart, and they'll just break down and go back into your soil, and that's how you're going to get a new healthy lawn rejuvenated all over again. So without further ado, that's it for your first fall renovation. Congratulations. Hope you guys had the same success I did, and I wish you guys luck in the future. We'll be doing a couple more update videos on my fall renovation coming in here. We'll be doing another video coming up soon, fall lawn tips, leaves in the lawn, raking. As you guys know, for those of you who are new here, I have a lot of maple trees. I do about 200 leaf bags a year. So there's going to be lots of videos coming up here. Pruning, we're getting into pruning season. We're going to be pruning some trees on our property. And as you can see over here, we got 2 yards of mulch. And we got this mess over here. We're finally going to fix this, do some grading work and everything else. I will be probably making a video on this as well. So from the Great Green North, my name is Wade Murray. Thank you guys for watching. Wish you the best luck with your fall renovation. As always, leave any questions and comments down below. I'll do my best to answer them. You can send me any pictures or any other questions you have at my email, greatgreennorthlawncare@gmail.com. And for the Great Green North, my name is Wade Murray. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, keep it green.